we must be able to convert from a base to another when we talk about number base. So basically, a number base, we write numbers with base. We have 2, 3, base 8. We may also have 5, 4, base 9. But you must put in mind that whenever you are writing a number in a base, its base is always the highest. What do I mean? If I'm writing a number in base 5, say I want to write in base 5, numbers I expect to see are from 0 to 4. If I'm writing in base 8, numbers I want to see will be from 0 to 7. If I'm also writing in base 2, the numbers I am to see are just 0 and 1. Anything with a particular base must not have that number as one of its members. So less than are its members. And that's why majority of the times we write in base 10. When we write in base 10, the numbers we write are usually from 0 to 9. So all the numbers we write without putting any base, if I write 184 this way, is assumed to be in base 10. If I write 349, is assumed to be in base 10. So any numbers that you cannot see any base written underneath it, it's in base 10. So let's put that in our minds. But here we can work on some basic operations on number base. One, we can convert from a base to base 10. So we want to conversion from a base to base 10. How do we do that? Now let's look at some examples of seeing how to convert from a base to base 10. Say number 1, express 1, 2, 5 base 6 to base 10. So we want to express 1, 2, 5 base 6 and want to express it as a number in base 10. How do we do this? Now to solve this, we pick each of the numbers and multiply by the base. 1 by 6, then you add plus 2 by 6 plus 5 by 6. 1 by 6 plus 2 by 6 plus 5 by 6. Then in each of them you give 0, that's to the base, allocate powers 1, 2. You allocate powers starting from the right. 0, 1, 6. And what would that be? That becomes 1 times 6 squared is 36 plus 2 times 6 raised by 1 is 6 plus 5 times 6 raised to the power 0 is 1. 6 raised to the power of 0 is 1. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. 1. So we have 1 times 36 equals 36 plus 2 times 6 is 12 plus 5 times 1 is 5. So 36 plus 12 plus 5. 36 plus 12 is 48. 48 plus 5 is 53. So you have 53 base 10. Or better still, you may not write. So you've seen the way we have just expressed 125 base 10. Sorry, 125 base 6 to base 10, and that is 53 base 10. Let's look at another example of how to do that. Say I want to express 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 You may be thinking, yeah, this is be base 2 because it's just 0 and 1. So base 10. So we want to express it in base 10. I'm sorry, this should be in base 10. We express 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. Base 2, we want to express it in base 10. So like we did earlier, we pick each of them and multiply by the base. So we have 1 0 1 1 1 0 1, and is written in base 2. So that becomes 1 times 2 plus 0 times 2 plus 1 times 2 plus another 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2 once more, then plus 0 times 2, then plus 1 times 2. So we allocate powers, and that becomes 0 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So we have allocated powers, and having done that, we can now solve. That becomes 1 times 2 raised to power 6. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 and times 2. 2 raised to power 6 gives me 64 plus 0 times 2 raised to power 5. 2 raised to power 5 is 32 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 4, that's 16, plus 1 times 2 raised to power 3 is 8, plus 1 times 2 raised to power 2, 4, plus 0 times 2 raised to power 1, that's 2, and finally 1 times 2 raised to power 0 is 1. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So equals 1 times 64 is 64. 0 times 32, that's 0. 1 times 16 is 16. 1 times 8, that is 8. Plus 1 times 4, 4. 0 times 2, 0. Plus and 1 times 1, 1. So we add all of this together, and our answer comes up 64 plus 0, 64, 64 plus 16, 80, 80 plus 8, 88, 88 plus 4, 92, 92 plus 0, 92, 92 plus 1, 93. So we have 93 base 10. That is how to express a number given base 2 or given in a base, and want to express it in base 10. This is just a way of solving. This particular method we have looked at is called expanding power. This method is called expanding power. We also have another way of solving, and that is called repeated multiplication. So this we have just looked at is called expanding power. So we also have repeated multiplication. But how do we solve for repeated multiplication? We'll be looking at that. So now in solving for that, let's look at one or two examples too, okay, of repeated multiplication. So that will help us pretty good to see what we have to pick. So we want to look at repeated multiplication. Okay, for repeated multiplication, we'll be picking this. We want to have 3, 2, 4, base 6. I want to express in base 10. What I'll be doing here is I'll first solve with the expanding power so that you can see that we have the same answer. So like we said earlier, this is base 6, so we multiply each number by that base. This is expanding power, do not forget. So 3 times 6 plus 2 times 6 plus 4 times 6 0, 1, and 2. So 3 times 6 squared is 36, plus 2 times 6 raised to the power 1, that is 6, plus 4 times 6 raised to the power 0 is 1. So that becomes 3 times 36 is 108, plus 2 times 6, that is 12, plus 4 times 1, 4. So 108 plus 12 is 120, plus 4, that is 124. 124 base 10. Now this is expanding power. What we have just done here is expanding power. Let us now move with repeated multiplication and see what we have. Do not forget the question is 324 base 6 to base 10. So how do we work on repeated multiplication? 324. 324 base 6 to be expressed in base 10. In base 10. Now, in repeated multiplication, you must put in mind that you start with the base. You multiply, you add, you multiply, you add, you multiply, you add, and you get your answer. So let's move to that. We have 3, 2, and 4. What do you do? First, you multiply by the base. So 3 times 6 gives 18. Now when you have 18, you add this to it, and that gives 20. Now whatever you get, you multiply by the base again. That is 120. Then you add the next number, and that is 124 base 10. Since you do not have any other number, so you stop here. Look at what I've done. First pick the number, a first number multiplied by the base. Whatever you get, add the next number. The answer you have, multiply again, then add. So this is called repeated multiplication. Do we have the same answer? 124 base 10, 124 base 10. So which of them do you prefer? For me, I love this repeated multiplication, but for expanding power, a lot of students love it. Any of them would work. Let's pick one more example on repeated multiplication. Repeated multiplication. Let's see. Let's pick just one more example on it. If I want to express 1011 base 2 to base 10. Like we said earlier, you write 1, 0, 1, 1. First multiply by 2. That's 2. Whatever you add the next number. That gives 2. Then you multiply by the base again. That's 4. Then you add 1. That is 5. Whatever you get, multiply again. That's 10. Plus, finally, you add as 1, and that gives you 11. So you have 11 base 10. So, pretty simple. A lot of students prefer expanding power, but this is simpler. You get your answer in no time. So we have been able to see how to expand, how to convert numbers from a given base to base 10. So expanding power, repeated multiplication, you always have the same answer. Go through a lot of examples, give yourself some work to do, and also pick examples from frames or from the miscellaneous examples will be given out. So with this, I believe every student can work on that.